Welcome to today's edition of ISM's Quick Tips podcast series. I'm Barbara Beachley, Consultant and Director of Survey Research with Independent School Management. We're going to take a look at the most common mistakes schools make when designing surveys and why you should avoid them. And then we'll give you some best practices to follow for your next survey. The golden rule of survey design is don't ask a question if you don't know what you're going to do with the answer. There are a lot of things that we may be curious about, but asking questions without specific intentions risks muddying the data and losing the goodwill of your respondents. It can also result in a survey that's too long. You have to keep length in mind and think about who you're surveying. Current parents who are highly motivated by the idea that their opinions will result in a positive change for their children have much greater patience for a longer survey and may be willing to spend up to 45 minutes to an hour completing it. On the other hand, a nutrition survey should be fewer than 10 minutes because these are families that have decided to leave the school and have no real investment in the results. When designing your survey, you also want to make sure your questions are clear and unambiguous. One way to test for this is to pre-test the survey by sending it to a number of people unfamiliar with the topics, asking for feedback on anything that confused them. Lack of clarity may include wordiness, a phrase that may have multiple meanings, not providing enough context, or compound questions. Compound questions are questions that ask two things in one. So for example, if you ask, "Do you think the food in the cafeteria is healthy and tasty?" a respondent with two different opinions of the taste and nutritional value would be unsure as to how to answer that question. Another thing to avoid is adding modifiers or superlatives that may influence the responses. So if you ask, "Do you agree that the school head is always incredibly supportive?" a respondent may think, "Well, yes, I think she's generally supportive, but can I say always, and is she incredibly supportive?" That may be a tricky question to answer. The most dangerous mistake schools make is to ask questions that set expectations about a topic that the school is not willing to consider. For example, you wouldn't want to ask if parents like having uniforms if the school has no intention of getting rid of them. Asking the question will raise the issue, and if you don't want to address it, then the respondents won't feel their participation has been valued. Finally, choose your scales wisely. Use professionally designed scales that are balanced and have the appropriate number of points, which changes depending on your objective. For some questions, you may want to force a decision, and so you would use a yes or no question. An example of this would be, "At this point in time, do you intend to enroll your child at this school for the next academic year?" If 60% answered maybe here, that wouldn't give you much to go on. On the other hand, if you were asking about the quality of teaching, yes or no would be too limiting, and you would want a range of responses available. The way a survey is designed is fundamental to the usefulness of the data you collect, so make sure you construct each question carefully, viewing the process from the point of view of your participant group. Thank you for joining me today. For more information about ISM surveys, free newsletters, and our workshops, please visit isminc.com.